Today, we're using this 3D ship model based on the MSC Crystal. The sizes of container ships are usually determined by their capacity in TEU, 20-foot equivalent unit, and FEU, 40-foot equivalent unit. Container ships store their fuel in tanks that are usually located next to the engine room or in the double side or bottom tanks. Water ballast tanks. They keep the ship stabilized. Most ships are equipped with hatch covers. The ship stores containers inside the hull and on top of the deck. Inside the hull, there is cargo hold space. The cargo space is divided into holds by watertight bulkheads. One complete hold itself is divided into two parts by the use of so-called pillar bulkheads. In recent years, the cargo holds in most container ships are designed for the carriage of 40-feet containers. A small ship can carry fewer than 1,000 TEU, and the largest ships can carry more than 24,000 TEU. In a smaller ship, the superstructure and the engine room are located at the aft. In a larger ship, the structure is located toward the middle of the ship. In an ultra-large ship, the superstructure is separated from the chimney and the engine room, and is designed to be toward the front. The reason for this is to increase the visibility from the navigational bridge, and it could allow loading more containers on top. Containers are designed for stacking on top of each other. This is a corner casting. Containers are connected to each other using a device called a twist lock. This is a manual twist lock. It has a lever handle that can be moved in a sideway to tighten them in place. It locks the corner castings of two different containers together. This is a semi-auto twist lock. The cone on this lock is designed a little tilted on one side, so when the casting corner presses it down, the cone will turn automatically and then lock in place. To unlock it, the operating rod is used to pull this wire manually. Now you can see how containers are stacked vertically. The same twist lock mechanism is also used to secure a container on a truck, but sometimes humans still choose to do this. How containers are stowed. These are cell guys. Containers are stowed along the cell guys. When stowing 20-foot containers, they could be at risk of sliding sideways. The container corners not supported by the cell guys need to be fixed to prevent slipping sideways. At least one or more tiers of 40-foot containers are generally stowed on top to prevent the deformation of 20-foot containers. Containers stowed inside the hull don't need to use twist locks. When the hull is fully loaded, hatch covers will be closed and more containers will be loaded on top of the deck. Since there are no cell guys here, the containers have to be secured using twist locks. However, twist locks alone are not enough. Lashing is required. This is a lashing bridge. The lower tiers of containers require lashing to prevent shifting and minimize structural stress. To maximize container stowage on deck, the outboard stacks of containers are often supported on pedestals.
Nice!
Container ships may transport large numbers of refrigerated boxes, commonly specified as reefer containers. Now, all containers on board are secured and ready for the voyage. Even with careful safety measurements, errors sometimes still happen and can lead to accidents like this. Loading containers on and off of a ship requires a gigantic crane, on the port called a container gantry crane. A gantry crane lifts a container using a spreader. This device uses twist locks to secure into four-corner castings of a container. When the lock is secured, it can lift the container and load it onto the ship. The spreader is equipped with image sensors to help accurately position a container. To unload and reload containers in and out of the ship, it usually takes 1 to 3 days, depending on the cargo volume. So how is a container is located in these massive stacks of containers? This is the bay numbering. Odd-numbered bays are for 20-foot containers, and even-numbered bays are for 40-foot containers. This is the row numbering. Starting from the center, odd numbers on the starboard side and even numbers on the port side. And this is the tier numbering. So when the location reads 300414, it is a 40-foot container stowed in bay 30, row 04, and tier 14. If there were a 20-foot container below it, it would be bay 31, row 04, and tier 12.